What it do, baby? It's your boy Half Man, and I'm back once again. So anyway, I know y'all can care less about that and more about these reactions. So we will go ahead and jump into these reactions. But before I even get started, y'all got to do me this one little favor. It may sound like 3 favors, but it's going to be one because it's all in one package. It comes as a package deal. You know what I'm saying? Need for y'all to go ahead and smash the subscribe button for your boy. Like the video for your boy. And then just go ahead and share it with somebody that you may think that might be interested in what we're reacting to today. You dig? Can y'all do that one little favor for your boy? I definitely appreciate it. I'll wait. Alright, y'all ready? Let's jump right into it, man. My boy Benny Johnson. Matter of fact, the title is FBI just confirmed 2020 was stolen. Here we go. Look at this. Shout out to Benny, man, for the intro, man.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. It is absolutely doomsday for election thieves in Georgia for the 2020 election. The FBI has now released its affidavit that they used as a predicate to raid the election center in the state of Georgia, and it is absolutely and totally devastating. Lib's worst nightmare, observing that at least one file with dates modified in 2024, along with others modified prior to January 11th, 2024. So what they're saying here is that the election officials went into the files and they changed them. They changed the ballots. They miscounted ballots. They uploaded images of ballots that didn't exist. They were short by 17,000 ballots on the official tally. This is completely and totally devastating. Let's read. Last month's FBI agents executed a search warrant in Union City, Georgia, making sharp escalation in scrutiny surrounding Fulton County's handling of the 2020 election. The FBI has now reportedly substantiated major irregularities in vote counting from Fulton County, Georgia during the 2020 election and is investigating whether those errors were deliberate violations of federal law. The affidavit filed by FBI Special Agent Ryan Hughes Evans last month, which was unsealed today, lays out 5 categories of confirmed election fraud, mishandling of ballots, raising questions, simmering for over 5 years since Trump and his allies raised questions about the Georgia election. Let's read. According to a report from Just the News, Evans filed the affidavit last month to establish probable cause on the raid, and we've talked about this, to get a judge to say you have probable cause, to get a judge to say, yes, a criminal activity occurred here is a massive, massive thing.
Yes.
In Georgia. I mean, again, this wasn't just a search warrant. This wasn't a subpoena. This was a kick the door in and grab everything you can. We think there's a crime that was committed here. So this is now, we're seeing the underlying predicate for that crime. Seized 700 boxes of ballots from an Atlanta area storage warehouse. The investigation stemmed from a referral by Kurt Olson, President Trump's election integrity czar. Evans interviewed roughly a dozen unnamed witnesses about the allegations in the Georgia race, where Joe Biden edged out Trump by less than 12,000 votes in the official result. Some of those allegations have been disproven, while some of those allegations have been substantiated, including some through the admission of Fulton County, Evans wrote. The warrant application is part of the FBI's criminal investigation of improprieties and intentional acts, criminal laws. Fulton County admitted it lacked scanned images of 500,000 ballots counted during the initial count and 500,000 ballots tallied during the state's
Wait, what? 500,000, what?
It lacked scanned images of 500.
It lacked scanned images of over 500,000. That's a $500,000 ticket. That's crazy.
Laws. Fulton County admitted it lacked scanned images of 500,000 ballots counted during the initial count and 500,000 ballots tallied during the state's recount. What?
Wow.
So they don't have the actual ballots themselves. County officials have confirmed that during the recount, some ballots were scanned multiple times. Ballot images obtained through public records request show identical markings appearing in duplicated images. During the risk-limiting audit, hand counters reported vote totals and batches didn't match the actual votes inside of their batches. According to the affidavit, State Performance Review Board Secretary of State investigation confirmed inaccurate batch tallies. So now those ballots are owned by the FBI and they'll make the final determination, along with the fake ballots. And we've been told by Rudy Giuliani, for instance, that there was a ballot printing operation on site. Play that clip in just a second. There were a matter of pristine ballots. Auditors assessing the risk report, counting supposed ballots that have never been creased or folded, would be required the ballot mailed to the voter and returned sealed. They said that they were perfect black dots, only votes for Joe Biden, 99% breaking for Joe Biden in these style of like perfect pristine ballots that were clearly just printed on a printing press on site. The timeline adds another wrinkle. On the deadline to report the election results, Fulton County initially declared a total of 511,000 ballots, 17,000 fewer than the original count. But the next day, that number had jumped to 527,000 ballots, more than Joe Biden's margin of victory. So they can't even get their ballot number right. If these deficiencies were the result of intentional action, it would be a violation of federal law regardless. Many of the claims made in the affidavits were previously vetted by the Georgia State Election Board through litigation. Trump and his lawyers at the time lost their cases to the judges, but now they are looking into the actual ballots themselves. So this would be the first time that there was an actual independent review of the ballots. Nobody's ever seen the ballots. For years, officials insisted the 2020 process was sound, dismissing conspiracy theories. What remains unclear is if the problems resulted from incompetence or if they were malicious. Look at this. They're changing the files. They're literally changing the data, including last year. Last year, they started changing data, probably assuming that Trump was going to win, right? There it is, folks, the state of Georgia. 2 addresses were used for 9,000 votes cast in the most secure election in history in 2020. 2 addresses, 9,000 votes for these addresses. Jeez. There were many duplicate ballots in Georgia during the 2020 election. People were showing this, how the ballots were absolutely perfectly duplicate, including the way that they were, the bubbles were filled in. You can see it. You've seen, obviously, these ballots, and you can find that the markings perfectly match up ballot to ballot to ballot. And this is something that AI obviously can determine, right? There you go. Yep, that's it. Perfect. And President Trump talking about the 2020 election fraud, nationalized voting. We have states that are so crooked. Now you're going to see something in Georgia. The ballots, you will see some interesting things come out, says President Trump. And Donald Trump has, of course, been promising that they caught them. We caught them. We got them red-handed. Look at that. I thought this was a very interesting map. This is the election map of Dominion voting systems throughout the country. So where are they clustered the most? Look at Georgia. I mean, every swing state, isn't that wild? So it's all the swing states, but then Georgia, look at that. Man, they just packed that state. Just packed them. Georgia voter election. Watchdog Group says Fulton County has 17,000, mostly Biden votes, that have absolutely no ballots. Entire state will flip to Trump. What happens afterwards here? I don't know exactly. Here it is, Fulton County, full affidavit. It's smoking. And the person who's been retained by the feds is one of the best election lawyers in the world, Clay Partic. He worked in cybersecurity field. Due to his background in voting machine security performance, Partic has often reviewed data related to election questions and voting machines. He's a special government employee, temporary office of the executive branch, to review this specific election. The dam is about to burst on election fraud in Georgia. I've said all along, Georgia is the domino that will be the first to fall and is not the last.
Wow.
It's happening. It's happening. It's going to happen, man. Pretty soon, every single fake news outlet will be looking for diversionary stories as we uncover all of the election fraud, says Carrie Lake. And of course, if it isn't voter fraud, what is it exactly? I love this graphic. This graphic's amazing. This is the Biden election. Where the hell did these 20 million votes come from? Where do they come from? I don't care if people are like upset with Trump or whatever. Like, where do they come from? Biden Biden-Obama election, Hillary Clinton election, Kamala Harris election, a perfect through line to the number of Democrat votes, about 65 million. And then Joe Biden up here with 82 million. Where the hell did that come from? Jeez. FBI has substantiated irregularities in Georgia 2020 vote.
So they saying that Biden was more popular than Obama based off the graph? Hell no.
65 million. And then Joe Biden up here with 82 million. Where the hell did that come from? Jeez. FBI has substantiated irregularities in Georgia 2020 vote counts, probing if they were intentional. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Rudy Giuliani telling me that they had ballot printing operation on site right here in a, remember, Rudy was representing the president in all of this. He got arrested for it. Proven right. Here we are.
Would you give us the evidence? I mean, would you elucidate for us? There's a factory that was printing ballots?
That's an allegation.
Okay.
We've never able to prove that. But that's an allegation we have from 4 or 5 witnesses, and we wanted to get a warrant.
It makes sense.
But do I believe that one is one I probably believe is true. And I also believe that the ballots are phony, because if they weren't phony, they'd have turned them over to us on day one. They wouldn't have fought 20 battles to keep in front of us. They wouldn't have thrown our expert out when he showed up there with a machine that scared the hell out of them. It was a machine that would tell you if the same stationery was used. There was one stationery that was approved as a ballot. This machine could take all the ballots, put them through, and it could spit out the ones that were different stationery. And some of the reasonable people in Georgia agreed to that, and we were all set to do it. In the morning that Pulitzer showed up, the guy who was going to do it, they had the state police there. I think the governor said.
I have said this before. Everything that is done in the dark shall come to the light.